Hi, my name's Carla Beck. I am the MLA for Regina Lakeview. I'm a parent, a partner, a member of the community. I'm a proud social worker. And for the last 4 years, I've also been the critic for the official opposition for education, K-12 system, early learning and childcare, and this also includes the provincial library system. I made the decision to run as a school board member back in 2009 because I was concerned about the lack of investment and the lack of emphasis on investing in the K-12 system. Unfortunately, over the last 5 years as critic for the K-12 system, I have seen that continue. And I'm coming to you today from my backyard. I know we've all been spending a lot more time at home and in our backyards this summer. And I wanted to start by saying thank you to everyone's efforts. I know in the early days of the pandemic, there were a lot of unknowns, and in true Saskatchewan fashion, we did our part and pulled together, and we flattened that curve. Over the summer, we've seen more and more businesses and activities open up, and it's still as important as ever that we continue to work together to ensure that we keep our numbers low so that we can protect the most vulnerable in Saskatchewan, and that we can ensure that our economy and our activities get back to normal as soon as possible. With that, of course, one of the things as the education critic I'm thinking a lot about right now and hearing a lot about is reopening our schools in the fall. It's very important that children have some sense of structure and that they have some normalcy in their lives. I know I've heard from many parents that their children are struggling, and it's also important that we ensure that those students and the staff in our schools are protected and that we provide them with every means that we can to ensure a safe return to school in the fall. We know that prior to the pandemic, we were underfunding our schools. Unfortunately, when we saw the budget in June, there was not an additional dollar allocated for schools, and this is something that's very concerning to parents and students and staff alike.
For years, the Sask Party has continued to let down our teachers and school-based staff, our children and their families. Our schools have huge maintenance deficits, classrooms are crowded and complex, and per-student funding has dropped year after year. Mr. Speaker, this was all before a global pandemic upended education as we know it.
I was the critic for education and libraries and childcare back in 2017 when the Sask Party government saw fit to cut $54 million from growing classrooms right across this province. When they tried to cut half of the provincial funding to our provincial library system, a cut that would have decimated the provincial lending system and libraries as we know it. I am proud of the work that I have done with community members, with teachers, with parents right across this province to increase the understanding of the conditions that exist in our classrooms today, to raise awareness about the inadequate funding that's being provided by the provincial government and the need to really invest in knowledge, in education, in the future of our province. It's time for change. It's time for a government that sees education as an investment and not as the first place to cut when times get tough. It's time to elect a government that will truly put people first.